and I got marshals, and then drivers on the sound of the tone, drivers. Everybody nicely done. All good lines right there. Mr. Jeffords with a super good line right there. He didn't even turn his wheels. Scott is out front, followed by a pack of rabid racers. Oh, leader goes down. That puts Shirk out front. Let's see if Mike can hold on right here as Rick Jeffords gets a little loose. He had a good line on the first lap, but it was horrible on the second one at the start-finish line. As Scott is making his way back through traffic. It is still Shirk out front, followed by Scott, James, Rick Jeffords, and Tim. As Shirk gets a little crazy, James also gets crazy, lands upside down, puts Scott back out in front with Shirk in the 2, James in the 3, Rick in the 4, and then Tim in the 5. Scott comes through the berm nicely. James cases it again, but luckily Dan, with the hands of Gold Glove, Dan Bell, catches James. I believe the Hall of Fame induction is coming up in Canton. Dan may have a first ballot to get into the Hall of Fame right there as he catches all the RC cars when they crash. As Jeffords again upside down, as Stella gets upside down, but he does not get the Jeffords roll as Jeffords rolled onto his wheels and Tim rolled onto his wing. Let's see. Who is that? Tim down here at the start-finish line. Zach gets him going, though. Scott comes across the start-finish line. So it is still Scott Brown, Mike Shirk, followed by Jeffords, James, and Tim Stella. So Scott on a 23.611 to Mike's 21.605 to Jeffords 606 to James at 609, and then Tim is right there with a 610 as we got a three-pack, 3 Musketeers coming across the start-finish line as they all get sketchy. Rick rolls it, though, puts James into the 3 spot as he is on the hunt. Good line right there from James. Let's see how it goes. Good line there again from James as Mike is leaving the door open just a little bit. Oh, as they both play nice with each other across the start-finish line. As Scott is out front, he comes in with a 15.9. That's 2 15.9s in a row for Scott. As James is a man on the move now. Let's see if he can keep it rolling so he can get a good position. Oh, Shirk with a roll on a crazy double. As Scott again cases the pipe right there as he comes across the start-finish line, still with a 59. James's last lap with his fast lap with a 16.2. He needs a couple more of them. Nicely done right there from James. Let's see how Rick does. A good line from James and Mr. Shirk. Scott comes across. Nicely done. Scott with a 17 flat to not Rick James. James Johnson with a 16.231. And then Mr. Jeffords with a 16.1. As it is still 2.5 minutes to go. As James hits the start-finish line with a 16.4. Jeffords with an 18.1. Scott with a 15.6. He's on a 23.610. To James' 21.6 flat. To Jeffords' 21.605. To Mike Shirk's 21.614. And then right there behind, Scott with the peel. As it is the battle right there between Mike Shirk and Tim Stella, as Tim is battled back, as he is about 2 corners back from Shirk. They are about 3 seconds apart on the clock.
2 minutes left.
With 2 minutes left, as James is almost on the 22-lap pace. Jeffords, Rick is on a 6:07, Shirk on a 6:11, and then Tim Stella is on a 21.616. That is first place behind you, Jimmy Jam. As it is Scott, followed by James. James is on a 21.601, so he can get it onto that 22-lap pace. As Scott I thought for sure Scott was going to push you around the track for a couple laps. So now it is Jeffords, Shirk, and then right there, the 1 corner back is Tim Stella, 6'10", 6'10" to a 6'13". So that is the battle right there. with Jeffords hit the berm. Shirk hits the berm, and then Stella drives through the berm. Everybody hits the cliffhanger nicely. Jeffords gets crazy. Both second and third, or third and fourth, they sort it out, and then it is down the sweeper they go. As let's see, as James puts it onto the 22-lap pace. As the battle between 3, 4, and 5 is on the track and the clock. So it's Shirk followed by Jeffords and Tim Stella. Oh, Shirk taps out. Everybody's nice to each other. Nobody tries to drive over each other. Let's see if Stella with the inside move decides to hit the cliffhanger, but didn't quite pull it off. As it is still Mike Shirk, followed by Rick Jeffords with 20 seconds left as James is trying to take it off of the, James puts it back on the 21-lap pace. He can get it back, though. I'm sure he can, as the battle between 3, 4, and 5 is a last-lap battle right here. Oh, Tim taps out as he lets drivers finish the lap you're on. James, you were lucky enough to be the first one done. Congratulations. As let's see how it finishes with Shirk in the 3, Scott's in the 1, and then Tim Stella manages to finish 4, followed by Rick Jeffords in the 5. Oh, Scott takes the TQ on that.